AFC West family, we are back. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. We are back. I am also back with my brother, Ben, over at Denver Sports Talk Denver, all that good stuff. How you feeling, brother?
I just missed my shot, but I'm feeling great, man. Top of the AFC West. Let's get it.
That's a good sign that you missed that.
I know. No, it's a bad sign.
Tomorrow, so I love it. I love it. But salute real quick to everybody here in the building. As always, we appreciate you guys so much for rocking. If you guys can, do me a favor real quick. Ben, plug away, brother. Where can they follow you at, man?
Yeah, man. Sports Talk Denver. Come and, roll up on Graphk stream tomorrow night, and then mine afterwards. We'll do a post-game show after we just wipe the floor with the Raiders, I hope.
Man, here we go with this. Salute to everybody, man. Make sure you guys wipe them. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. We are here to cover Thursday Night Football. One team is coming off of a crazy win against the Houston Texans. And another team is coming off of a heartbreaking loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, where we've seen our team actually send our wide receiver one to the team that just beat us. It's crazy, man. Let me get your opinion real quick on the whole Raiders-Jags game real fast before we get into this. And how do you feel about Jacoby being sent out to Jacksonville for a 4th and a 6th, which I thought was really good because he's going to walk for free anyways in the offseason?
Dude, I expected you guys to just get like dog walked. I expected you to get trounced, and you played a fantastic game. So it actually made me, I was like, what are you guys doing? Don't you realize every win you get hurts your chances? So you guys actually looked legit, and I think the Jaguars are a playoff team, and you've beat the Patriots. You should have beat them. If like, that was absolutely crazy. But I think the value you got for Jacoby was good.
Yeah.
Even in that game, like, you see, if you have Brock Bowers, you need Brock Bowers and a running back, and you're a problem. So yeah. I thought that if he's not coming back, he's not signing. I think you got good value out of him.
Definitely. Just one thing about being a Raider fan, you can expect the defense to show up in one half and then the offense to show up in the other, but then the other one collapses in the other half. So in the first half, defense did its job. We couldn't put up any points. I believe we had 6 at the half. We end up with 29 points. The offense just takes off in the second half, but then the defense gives up just a ton of points to a beat up Jacksonville Jaguars team. And then, in heartbreaking fashion, you guys, we go out there, 2-point conversion in overtime. Geno just throws it right at the defender's hands, and we end up losing our 6th game of the season. But I'll say this, we did play a tight ball game against a really good football team, even though they were beat up. I know Trevor was dealing with some the illness as well, but they went out there, man, and they showed some signs of life. And now we're here on a short week, both teams. Realistically, man, I want your opinion on this, because was it 18-15, right? And you guys played a backup quarterback out there. That is a phenomenal defense that Houston has put together. So I'm not going to take anything away from what they were able to do out there. But the offense, man, it still feels like they continue to struggle to get things rolling. It seems as though Sean Payton, again, and I've said this for the last 2 years, when the run game is going, he gets away from it. Like, what is going on with this Denver Broncos offense?
You're joining a cacophony of Broncos fans, man, who wonder that same thing. And I feel like you were actually calling it before Broncos Twitter even noticed it. It was like game 1 of last year. You were like, I think Bo Nix could be okay, but he can't throw the ball 50 times a game. And in that game, it was like J.K. Dobbins, when Bo was under center, was 8 yards a clip, and we just would not do it. And that was all we were talking about on my stream too. Run the ball. And they wouldn't. And, Yeah, so that was discouraging. I think Sean Payton is so desperate to prove to the league that he was right in drafting Bo that he's like, hey, I'll show all of them, and he wants to throw some points up there with him, you know?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy because the run game is what, 7th in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You guys average 133.6 a clip. You have 10 touchdowns on the ground. And the passing game is middle of the pack at this point. I believe you guys are 17th, throwing for 213.8 a clip, 17 touchdowns in the year. A lot of that is also coming late in the fourth quarter with a lot of these games where the offense seems to come alive. And offensively, you're kind of a middle of the pack team, 13 total overall offense, 347.3 a clip, 27 touchdowns offensively. This defense that we have has been really, really up and down all season. Do you think that this is the week, on a short week, that your offense can kind of come alive? Because honestly, man, total defense, we're there at 19. We're giving up 333 a clip, 24 touchdowns on the defensive side of the football. But we're struggling just in coverage. We're somewhere in the middle. I think we're 20-21 in the passing game. And then rushing defense, we have been really, really bad recently. But somehow, some way, we're still middle of the pack at 16th, only giving up 109.4. But you've seen what the Jacksonville Jaguars did to this defense. They ran the football. They ended up having over 150 on the ground, and they only had like 30, 36 at the half. So what does this offense need to do in Denver to get it rolling on a short week at home, where you guys are 4-0 this season as well? You guys have not lost at home yet.
Right. Yeah, man, I truly have zero clue what to expect this short week. Like you just see, I remember watching the San Francisco game against the Rams, where it was backup quarterback against the hottest team in football, and 49ers pull off the victory. The Dolphins looked like they were absolute trash, which they are, and they hung tough with the Buffalo Bills. So I think you throw records and all of that out of there. And I think what you saw on offense last week, Geno Smith looked like a different quarterback in week number 1 and this last week. And that's because Brock Bowers is probably, without a doubt, he's the best tight end in football. You could say he's the best pass catcher in football.
He's better than Mercedes Lewis.
Well, he's half Mercedes Lewis, and put some respect. When he plays for 20 years in the NFL, you can say that. But I think Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty is your recipe to succeed. We've struggled guarding tight ends this year. Historically, that's always been one of our Achilles heels, so it definitely worries me. And if Geno looks like he did in that game, minus
what killed you guys last year?
I know. And we ended up like pulling Pat Surtain off and guarding Brock Bowers with the best defensive player in football, and he still got his own in that game. And so we're without Pat Surtain in this game, so that'll be really interesting to see what they do. I'm hoping on a short week he's feeling the pain, but if not, this is going to be a closer game than I think the 10-point spread Vegas has it at.
Well, I mean, once again, you guys have a phenomenal defense. You guys are the third-ranked defense in football. You just faced the first-ranked defense with the Texans and found a way to win. Regardless of anything, you guys, we can hate the Broncos as much as we want. They're 7-2. They're finding ways to win ball games. I keep telling you, though, Ben, at the end of the year, when you start to face these better teams, you get into the playoffs, you can't expect to win football games like this. Like, Bo Nix has to get rolling. But again, the Achilles heel in this defense, because we're going to have to offensively go out there and get it done with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, just like you said. You're 6th against the pass, and against the run, you're number 8. So, I mean, it's not really easy to throw the football on you guys or run the footballs, but you're saying the bread and butter should be Brock Bowers there, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, man, because I think we have to do some interesting things with Pat Surtain out, which I think is going to open the middle of the field up even more. So that's the matchup that really, really worries me. And I'm just hoping that our front four is going to be making Geno look like he did middle of the season. But don't you agree that like he looked ridiculously good because the season started off and I texted you, oh crap, Raiders are going to be a problem. Yeah. And then you fell off. But how much of that is because you were missing the best player on your team? And even though Brock played, he was not the Brock Bowers we've seen.
No.
And he looked like he's back.
Geno has looked a lot different with Brock in the lineup. I can attest to that. And once again, what offense wouldn't? I think he can make any quarterback look good. He did it last year. I mean, he had a record-breaking year with Minshew and Aiden O'Connell throwing him the football in his rookie season. So he's just that good. You know what I mean? And Definitely Geno looked better. He didn't show it when it mattered the most. I'll tell you that 2-point conversion, he could have won that ball game. And there was so many open wide receivers. It was also an open lane for him to just run it right in. He chose not to. He just threw it at a defender and boom, we lose that game.
Oh, but it was defensive line who got his hand up and made a good play on the ball. He had, if it got through that first wave, he had it, and that's ball game.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this: 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. That is a recipe for at least playing some tight ball games. If you're not going to win, definitely some tight ball games. Geno went out there and did what he was supposed to do. He did throw an errant pick that I did not like, and he actually blamed one of our young tight end, Michael Mayer, for it, which I do not believe that Michael Mayer had anything to do with that. It was just, to me, it was just a bad thrown ball, personally. But Michael Mayer owned up to it. He said, I'll take the accountability, I'll take full accountability. And Geno was kind of yelling and screaming at him on the sidelines, which I didn't like at all. But again, this will probably be a close game. It's short week, you guys. This is always rough, especially when you face a Texans defense like that. They beat your offense up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and Bo, I love the Silver Fact said, how many picks will Bo be giving up? The crazy thing is, you guys, he only has 6 on the season. He's thrown some in some bad spots. It seems like he's had more because, again, he's thrown some bad ones in some bad times. 17 touchdowns. He's 3rd in the league with touchdowns. And thank the Lord you guys can go get Waddle, because the rumor yesterday was you guys were going to move on from a first-round pick and then some. I guess it was a little too rich for Peyton and his blood. But thank the Lord y'all didn't get him, because that would have opened up that offense like crazy. But he's 10th in the league right now with almost 2,000 yards throwing, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks, a QBR 58.1. You want to raise that a ton. He's 17th in the league at that point. What does Bo Nix need to do this week, tomorrow night, Thursday night football, in front of the bright lights, in front of everybody, national televised game, to get this done? Because once again, he's been kind of up and down this year. Yeah,
I mean, here's the deal, though. Like, Bo Nix had a better game than Patrick Mahomes had against an infinitely better defense. And everyone's like, oh, this offense can't score points. Like, we scored 33 points in a quarter on the New York Giants, and the week later we dropped 44 on the Dallas Cowboys. And I just feel like there are all these people who want their pre-draft hype or dogging on a player to prove out true. And it's human nature. Like, if I have a take that I want to prove to be right, I'm going to find every piece of evidence to prove that.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Bo Nix played better than Patrick Mahomes did last week against a way better defense. And the Buffalo defense is a turnstile. Everybody's hurt and they're horrible. And he doesn't even throw a touchdown. So I think this week, Bo Nix needs to really work on the footwork. That so much of his errant throws last week were just not having his feet set. And that's been the people who dog on him all year, is that, like, he's wondering, am I going to run for this or am I going to pass? And so he kind of runs up in the pocket and his feet aren't set. When he sets his feet, he throws darts. And I think that's what he needs to do this week. And I think we really need to key on Max Crosby and give Bo Nix time. And Max Crosby is the only player on that defense who really scares me. And
should be honestly.
Yeah, if we can figure that out and Bo Nix sets his feet and we run the rock, I think on a short week, we want this game to go as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I think we need to not be looking ahead next week, because we got the Chiefs coming to town next week. And I think we need to,
good. You got that extended time off though. That's really good.
They have a full bye week, but we kind of get a little mini bye, but I have a good feeling that we're going to pull this out. I just don't think it's going to be a 10-point win.
Let me ask you, man, if CJ Stroud plays in that game, the entire game, what happens? Because the game looked a little different. He was 6 for 10. 79 yards in the air. Then they had to throw Davis Mills out there. And once again, for those who were saying that it was a dirty hit on CJ Stroud, it was not.
No,
it was not. He slid very late. The defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. I love that they pulled that flag, because it should not have been a flag at all. They threw a flag initially, right, Ben?
Yeah.
And they picked it up, which was the right call. But, Davis Mills went out there. Once again, the defense did what they were supposed to do. He only averaged 4.6 a clip. He wasn't that efficient, 17 for 30. He had 137, but gave up a little too much for my liking if I'm a Broncos fan, Ben. Like, honestly, the defense looked a little different out there with Patrick Surtain, even with Davis Mills throwing the ball. He only averaged 4.6 a clip. But again, no touchdowns, no picks. They did what they were supposed to do. But if CJ Stroud is in that game, does it look different in your eyes? And just being transparency.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine that we would have won that game if CJ Stroud was there. But at the same time, Sean Payton talked about in the Jets game where we did almost nothing, that he knew that Justin Fields wasn't going to do anything on us. And so he said, like, it changes how you call plays. Like when you know that, hey, our defense is going to bottle this dude up every single time. Yeah. And so I think Sean Payton would have called the offense different had CJ Stroud been out there. Agreed. But it's hard to play hypotheticals when you only win, you only win by a walk-off field goal. It's hard to say that, oh, of course we would have won if they have, one of the best rookies 2 years ago to ever do it. But I do think the Broncos have just found a way to win, and that's something that you haven't been able to say about this team in 10 years.
They missed a pick. I mean, they missed a kick Sunday too, right?
Yeah, we had a kick blocked, and it just gave us all PTSD because it was the actual leverage. Like Quinn Meinerz, who's our like all-pro guard, is literally held down so the other guy can jump over him, and they didn't call the flag on that blocked field goal yet. The Broncos got a bogus.
But Houston missed one as well.
Yeah, Houston did miss one. Yep. Okay. As well.
Okay. Yeah. Real quick, keys to victory, and salute to 2-4, man. Graphk Ben, hey, the first Raider mod on your channel.
He's awesome, man. He rolls up on my stream and he's nice. And yeah. You
guys, we rock with our people, man. We rock with our people, regardless of anything. We have some of the greatest people in this fan base, man. Salute to my guy 2-4. Give me some keys to victory for the Denver Broncos, man.
We need to run the ball. I want like 10 runs in a row, man. Like I don't want, and Sean Payton, I know he's going to come out and empty the first 3 plays and we're going to be losing our mind. And so I think for sure we need to run the ball as a key to victory. And then I think it's, do you double team Brock Bowers? And that sounds like crazy to think about double teaming a tight. Yeah, you have to, man.
Yeah, have to.
And then I think just demoralize Ashton Genty because he started coming on, and early on I told you I thought that was a bust, and I had Jamarcus Russell labeled all over him, and I spoke way too soon because he had some runs in that Jaguars game where like, whoa, man, that's nasty.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think honestly, we're not going to really be able to get the run game going too much. Our offensive line is still struggling. Genty ran the football only 13 times this past week, but the key was Chip Kelly finding him open in space and getting him active in the passing game.
And you called that too was that his second year at Boise when he
he had over 600 yards in the passing game, and then they just turned him into just a bell cow after that. You know what I mean? But Chip has found a way to get him involved. If the O-line wants to struggle to run block, they're going to find some him in space. That is another key to victory, to keep it close, find Genty in space. I don't think we're going to be able to run the football crazy effectively against this defense. Get him open in space. Brock is going to be the guy, but someone else opposite of Brock has to show up. Trey Tucker is essentially our number 1 wide receiver right now, but I'm expecting, Tyler Lockett's going to be out there at 33 years old. I'm not expecting too much from him, but it has to be a Jack Besh. He's going to be the guy to step up. He was the guy that was drafted to take Jacoby's place in the second round out of TCU. We need him to show up. He needs to get some reps because once again, if you lock down on Brock and you can't take him out of the game, but you can keep him, at bay as much as possible. You can't expect Trey Tucker to go out there and do it all on his own. You're going to find Genty, in the passing game, but I'm hoping and praying, Ben, that this is the first time that you hear Jack Besh's name this season, because once again, he was the reason why Jacoby was let go. We got a 4th and a 6. He's in Jacksonville, and they got a really good ball player out there. I love that for him. He's fighting for a playoff spot. After playing for the Patriots and the Raiders, 2 miserable organizations, he gets a chance to go out there. And Jacksonville's been miserable too, but they're in the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? So, but keep an eye on Jack Besh.
Yeah. Well, and I know like there was that viral tweet of how out of shape Lockett looked. Did you see that? Of like he couldn't keep up in this, but then you watch on that Genty score, and Mark Sanchez or Mark Schlereth, who's a Broncos radio dude, was just giving all the love to Lockett on his block on that play. Yeah, and so you can see that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And Jacoby tweeting out after he gets traded, like the deuce sign, LMAO, like he couldn't wait to get out of there.
That was fake.
Oh, that wasn't actually him. Okay.
Real. Jacoby is a consummate professional. He would not do anything like that. He loves those guys in that building. He would never leave. Like, one thing about Jacoby, man, that dude is the professional of all professionals. When I see
that's good to hear. Okay. It was I was like, man, the culture there is so bad. If he did that.
No, don't get it confused. It is, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Man. So how did you feel about Raiders not doing a fire sale?
I mean, you have to have items to actually.
Bro, you got items.
No.
Yes,
First
you
and
do.
foremost, you have a few guys that are potential generational guys with Ashton Genty and Brock. They're not going anywhere. So those two pieces, you can just put them over here. And then you're looking at everything else and you're saying, what can we get for any of these guys? Max is the one guy. And I know you're going to bring that up. We talked about in the group chat, they decided to keep. I love Max Crosby. He wants to see this thing through. Again, if you're not getting rid of Max, what are you getting? Malcolm Kuntz.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could have gotten some picks from Malcolm.
You're going to get a late swap with Malcolm Kuntz.
No, you would have got more for him than that, dude.
No way. He's walking in free agency. He's had a bad season up to this point. I mean, Tyree Wilson, potentially you can get maybe a fifth or sixth for him. They have a fourth year, and then there's a fifth year option, for him as well, because he's a first round pick. But we didn't have anything. Jackson Powers Johnson is the one name that I was watching very closely. I was hoping and praying that they weren't going to move off JPJ. I think that would have been the one guy that we could have got maybe a fourth rounder or even a third rounder, because some organization would have looked at him as a cornerstone center, and they could have made that move. But thank the Lord the Raiders didn't do it.
What do you think the philosophy is the rest of this season? Because you were so mad last year when you guys were winning games, when it cost you earlier picks. Like, do you think Pete Carroll has the permission to lose games and get a better pick, or is he coaching for his life?
Pete's not trying to lose games.
Okay.
This is an AP situation. This is a guy that won a national championship that a few years ago, I remember they rattled off like 8 or 9 straight wins in Seattle and found a way to get into the playoffs. I'm not saying that's going to happen over here because we lack a ton of talent on this roster. But again, this guy's getting paid $15 million a season. He's the 6th highest paid head coach in football. He's trying to win ball games. We just think about this, man. This is what's so crazy. And salute to my brother Sanjit for putting this up there. If Chicago doesn't block that kick, okay, if we get that 2-point conversion, guess what? The Raiders are literally in the playoffs right now. We're the 7th seed. If that kick doesn't get blocked and that 2-point conversion is good, we're literally the 7th seed. So Pete is thinking, we're this close. I know he's looking at the Chiefs loss and the Colts loss, like a lot of us, the Commanders loss, and thinking, man, we're a long ways off right now. But he's thinking differently. He's an older guy. He's trying to win now. He's thinking, we need to win. We need to win. So, and once again, when you have a 74-year-old head coach, he's trying to win now. I mean, shit, God forbid something happened. Like he's up there in age, man. He could go any day now. Shit, and this Raiders organization, they've killed a lot of us inside. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So, but again, they're not trying to lose. And right now with let's just say we magically went to Denver and won this game. You have some winnable games coming up. You have the Browns, who have the 2nd best defense in football. But their offense is miserable. You have the Dallas Cowboys, who are terrible. But guess what? We're going to get an opportunity, to see the big acquisition. His first game will be against us, Quentin Williams.
Oh, wow.
What's the odds of that, right? But we have some winnable games after this game, and then we see you guys again, and then we have the Chargers, and then you guys, but.
And Chargers don't look like world beaters anymore without both their guards gone, or both their tackles. What week do you have Chargers? Because they're not going to have Marion Hampton until week 13.
We have you guys. We have, I think, the Browns and the Cowboys. Then we have the Chargers, and then you guys. I believe that's how it goes.
They'll have O'Marion Hampton right before you see him again, of course.
Yeah, of course. And he'll run for 173 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. But again, it is what it is. But look, man, this is, once again, I think this is going to be a tight game. I've said this before with some of these games, and they ended up being like that. The Chicago game was a tight. I thought we could have won that one. I thought we could have beat Jacksonville. I had us actually beaten Jacksonville by a touchdown because of how beat up they were. But again, they found a way. I think this is going to be a tight game. Give us a final prediction. And I know you're probably going to go a different way, Ben, because that's what you do. But final prediction.
I think the Broncos win by a touchdown.
Okay.
I think like 28-21. Broncos win 28-21.
So the defense gives up 21 points, and you guys put up 28.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sean Payton wants to...
On a short week.
Yeah. I think Sean wants to run the ball and make this the quickest Thursday night game in NFL history. And after how successful the Jaguars were running the ball, I think that's what he does. And I think if you still had Jacoby and we didn't have Pat Surtain, it's like, well, how do you cover all those dudes? But with, I think 28-21 Broncos. What are you thinking?
Could be somewhere along those lines, maybe like a 24-20, 24-21 type game. I do have you guys winning. Look, these Raiders need to do something to prove that they can actually win a ball game. I think it's going to be close though. Again, I don't trust our kicker right now. Carlson mixed the extra point that potentially just lost us the game. We lost 30-29.
That's
so I don't really trust him right now. I don't trust this defense because they've been really bend, don't break. And then that second half, they could just completely broke. So I'll say you guys by 4-3, 24-20, 24-21. Now I got to throw this out there because this is the only thing I have, or the only thing I can hang over you guys' head. You guys have won the last 2 matchups against us. Before that, we owned you guys for. I
remember very well.
But also, the all-time series, Raiders have it 73-56-2. So you guys have a lot of catching up to do. So you guys are on top of the division, Ben. But again, we do own you guys in terms of 73-56-2 in the all-time series. The Broncos are a 9.5-point favorite over us. And the over-under is 42.5. So I'm going to take the over. I'll take the over. I think that these offenses, I think with Brock out there, he's going to open up the offense again. We put up 29 with him out there against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'll take the over on that. But I do believe, a 9.5-point favorite, though. That's
crazy on a Thursday night in a rivalry game.
Yeah.
I just think that is disrespectful. And I hope it's not bulletin board material. The other thing that gives me hope, though, is like Pete Carroll has never won in Denver in his whole career, even going back to Seattle.
Yeah.
But there's the Pete Carroll, Sean Payton rivalry. They don't like each other. They have like mutual respect for each other, but they each want to be the GOAT. And so I think that's going to be I think it'll be a great Thursday night game, man. And we're wearing our throwback, so the vibes are going to be immaculate. And are you guys in all white?
We're going to probably do the alternates.
Okay.
So I think we're going to do the white joints, the white and gray. I'm going to have my Marshawn Lynch on tomorrow. So I think we're going to do the alternate unis. So I'm hoping.
That's sick, man.
I'm hoping. So real quick, you guys, let's do an update real fast and then we'll get another one today. But this is the injury report for right now, at least up to today.
Good. Aiden O'Connell's hurt. Okay, good.
Yeah, I know, right? The
I just changed it. Broncos 42, Raiders 7.
But Thomas Booker, defensive tackle, dealing with an oblique injury, full participant. He'll be good to go. Brock Bowers, good. He was dealing with a toe injury. He was a full participant Monday, Tuesday. So it looks like Brock is okay. Our guy, Lonnie Johnson, should be seeing his first action at the safety position, which is a blessing in disguise. Dealing with that fibula injury. He's a full participant. Pete said he should be having his first action Thursday night. Aiden O'Connell, right wrist, full participant all week. He's not going to be active, so don't expect him to be active. It'll be Kenny Pickett and Geno, the 2 quarterbacks. Adam Butler, defensive tackle. He had some back spasms against the Chiefs, was a late last-minute scratch against them. So this is something to monitor. Monday, he was cool. He was limited yesterday in practice with the back injury. This would be a major setback for that defensive line because Adam Butler's played really good for us. Broncos, Jonathan Cooper was limited Monday, full participant yesterday. He's dealing with a thumb injury. John Franklin Myers, defensive end, shoulder, limited but full participant yesterday. DJ Jones, knee, limited Monday, full participant Tuesday. Brandon Jones, safety, foot, did not participate Monday but was limited Tuesday. PJ Locke, safety, neck, did not participate Monday, was limited Tuesday. That's something to monitor. Marvin Mims Jr. dealing with the concussion.
He should be he's back. So that's a good thing.
He should.
I also think that Houston game would have been way different without Marvin Mims. We had a muff kick. We had a practice squad guy returning kicks and gave them the ball at like the 10.
It was Beatty, right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I just think, man, Marvin Mims, dude, he is explosive and he's a huge part of our offense too. Like he's misdirect, he's jet sweeps, he's all those things that, in some ways I could see missing out on him was as big as Pat Surtain. That's just one position. Marvin Mims is our all-pro kick returner, punt returner. Then he plays running back sometimes for us. He plays, he's a joker. So having him back, I think will be huge.
And also he can definitely exploit our special teams unit. They've been really, really bad. They've been better these last few weeks, But again, Tom McMahon is, him very well. He's a terrible special teams coach.
Totally.
So if Marvin Mims is out there returning kicks, I am very much worried about him. But really, other than that, man, we got Riley Moss dealing with an ankle injury. He did not participate Monday. That's a big one right there. Limited on Tuesday. Nate Atkins, knee, did not participate Monday or Tuesday. The tight end. Will Lutz, kicker, illness, did not participate. Is there something there? Monday he was there. Tuesday
there was like a nasty virus going around. And so we had our starting guard was a game time decision against Houston, and like they had like a hazmat crew out there. He had his own I've never seen it. Those like water boys. That's what I would have played in high school. He had his own water boy who put like tape over the mouth of his water bottle and was like his own water person because they didn't want anyone else to get sick. And then Will Lutz got it. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's something to monitor right there. And then we know that, one of the greatest, not the greatest corner in football, Pat Surtain, is out. He's on the IR right now dealing with a pectoral injury. So those are your updates up to this point, you guys. We'll have another update today. And we'll see where we go from there. But other than that, you guys
doing any padded practices this week or mostly walkthroughs?
I know we had a walkthrough, I believe, Monday. I don't think we're doing really any pads. I see yesterday. I don't think we have any pads.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing too. It's, Sean hates these Thursday night games, and we have to do 2 this year, which kind of sucks. But what, as a Raiders fan watching Bo, what is your actual thought on Bo Nix? And don't sugarcoat it just because I'm handsome and I'm humble and we're friends.
I think that I was right about Drake May being the best quarterback in that class. I think that Bo Nix is a good quarterback. I think that his play caller is setting him back because, again, you got to get the run game going. He's a young kid. He's still in year 2. You can't always put in his hands and expect him to go out there and throw 40 or 50 times a game.
Yep.
If they start to run the football more, and they've been successful at that, once again, 7th in the NFL in rushing it, and he just gets away from it, that will help him a ton. I think Bo Nix is a good football player. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think that if they allow this to not have to be a one-dimensional offense and have him go out there force feeding shit, I think that he could be a phenomenal quarterback. I do think that he has all the intangibles to be nice. I do, but again, I think that Sean Payton is kind of setting him back a little bit. But again, you're 7-2, 17 touchdowns to 6 picks. It's like, can you really complain? It's like you really can't. He's winning ball games. He's finding ways to get it done. But again, I don't know, man. I think Peyton just needs to stop being so damn one-dimensional.
Well, you're absolutely preaching to the choir, and that's always a good thing when you hear that from an unbiased source. That we feel like the biggest limiting factor on Bo Nix most days is Sean Payton's play calling and just setting him up to fail for sure. What's your prediction on who wins the AFC West? So we have a 1-game lead on the Chargers, and they have the tiebreaker, and we got a 2-game lead on the Chiefs, and we're just like a couple in front of the Raiders. Who wins this division?
I initially, and I know we talked about it about a week or 2 ago, that the Chiefs were kind of on this run, right? And then they come back down to earth this past week. So honestly, the Chargers, with all those injuries, Herbert has been throwing a ton of picks. That O-line is beat up, left tackle, right tackle. I know they made a move yesterday for
a guy who's got a 51 grade on PFF. That's not helping.
And when you get an offensive lineman from the Saints, you kind of know what you're signing up for, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I liked him a lot at the college level, but again, he just hasn't been able to really get it done up to this point. But it has to be the Denver Broncos. Let me ask you this though.
You think we're going to win the division?
Hold on,
Raph, I love you.
Hold on. What does your schedule look like moving forward?
Toughest game of the season is next week. Chiefs. We got Chiefs, and they're coming off of
I'll do this, man. I'll do this. Whoever wins this game next week is winning the division.
But then after that, man, like we have our bye week, and then we get the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. That was a game I was super worried about, and you're less worried about it.
They're a bad football team, man. Defense, well, they're old. That's a winnable game.
Yeah, and then you get Packers at home, who looked unbeatable, and then just lost to the Panthers. So we get them at home.
They're
Jaguars
at
home.
They're a really weird team.
So weird. Jaguars at home before Travis Hunter comes back. Then our ending game is Chargers at home. So
you got a lot of winnable games though on the menu though.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of playoff teams, the Packers, the Jags, the Chiefs, the Chargers. Yeah. But again, some of them are playing not so like playoff teams right now. Well, I can't say that because the Packers are
Yeah.
definitely one of them. They look really. That's a weird team, man.
Yeah.
You make a move for Micah, and then the defense has been blah, and then I know they're dealing with injuries. Tucker's gone. They called for Michael Mayer too. They wanted Michael Mayer.
I think the Broncos also called on Michael Mayer.
Yeah. Do you think that we would send him in division?
I thought, because I'm friends with you, that like maybe, I don't know, Tom Brady knew that and was like, all right.
Well, Spytek has a connection to Denver as well.
Yeah.
He used to work there. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's something there, but I don't think that I'll say this, man. If I had to bet now, and I hate to say this because I'm going back on what I said, but I hate the Chiefs more than I hate the Broncos. So I think right now I got the Broncos. The Chiefs, man, I don't know what they're such a up and down football team. You don't know what Chiefs team you're getting week in and week out. Mahomes didn't look good last week at all. He had 0 touchdowns too, right?
Yeah, 0 touchdowns, pick, barely, didn't even throw for 50% completion against a really bad Bills defense that let Lamar and a bad offense score 41 on him like that.
Yeah. But Buffalo has owned them in the regular season, and then the Chiefs owned them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4-0 during the regular season, Buffalo, and then 0-4 or something like that in the playoffs for the Chiefs. So, but this is the thing. The Chiefs cannot Chief their way into the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Because it's wide open. There's too many teams that are fighting for those spots. The Chiefs have to find a way to rattle off some wins. That was a big L for that team. So it doesn't matter how you get it done. You guys have been getting it done. 7-2 is a massive achievement, especially with a young year 2 quarterback, but again, there's some winnable games in front, but what Denver Broncos team is going to show up? That's big, especially without Pat Surtain. Is there any timeline on when he's coming back?
Yeah, there are rumors that he could be back for the Chiefs game. But at the very least, he'll be back for that Commanders game. So he'll only miss this game against you and at most one more game.
Okay.
So
I got Brock going over 115 yards in the air.
If that happens, we'll lose.
I got Genty with 60 yards rushing, 50 in the air.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got Nick Benito getting 4 sacks.
Oh, man, I would love that. Yeah. I want him to have as many sacks on Geno as Max has typically. Wasn't there a game when Max sacked one of our quarterbacks like 5 times in a game?
Yeah. So
I think Max has had a sack in every single game he's ever played the Broncos. So
they move Nick around, but he kind of lives on the right side, right?
Yeah.
Is it the right side or the left?
Yeah, Benito is usually on the right side.
Okay. Yeah. See, he's going to be facing DJ Glaze, and then if they put him on the left against Stone Forsythe, he may have 8. So look, it's been tough, man. It's been a tough season, but salute to everybody here in the building. Any more questions before we?
No, man, dude, this is awesome. And truly, like, you single-handedly have redeemed Raiders Nation for me, because we used to think every Raider fan had neck tattoos. They were bad people. And I see that they're actually good people. So you are the best. Your chat's the best, man. You're the GOAT.
Hey, look, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, man. Salute to everybody here in the building, as always. And again, I think maybe we should try and do a recap at some point.
Yeah, man.
With the game. And then we have another game here in about 4 weeks. So we'll definitely cover that one again as well. And you guys know the AFC West family, we're always going to be active. We'll have the show back soon. Darcy got a lot going on outside of this. So when he's back active and ready to go, we'll definitely get the family back to do the AFC West show. But other than that, man, once again, plug away real quick, Ben. Let everybody know where to follow you at, brother.
Yeah, Sports Talk Denver. And if you're going live tomorrow night after the game, we can join our streams. Like, I know you're not supposed to cross the streams because that. But yeah, let's join the streams up, man. As long as the Broncos win, if they lose,
here we go. Look, I'll show up, win, lose.
I know, because you're a way better person than I am, Graphk.
What did Darcy say in the chat? He said, "Why does Ben only go live for the watch parties?"
Absolutely,
yeah, trash ass teams.
Because I'd scheduled my lives for Jaguar or Titans and bad teams.
You just one that doesn't look like somebody that's fully in the belief system with this Denver Broncos team.
But I proved it wrong. I went live for the Eagles and we won. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. But you know what? The Eagles did look very beatable.
Absolutely.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Salute to my dog, man, as always. And this will be up over on Ben's channel as well afterwards. You know, he's going to cut it up and make me look like a terrible human being. And I love it. I love it. So make sure you guys go subscribe to my guy again. And we will be here tomorrow, me and Hammer covering the game. Pull up, you guys. We're going to do the play-by-play. And we'll be here every step of the way. And then Ben will definitely be covering the game after, right? Recap after?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so look, if we lose, if the Raiders lose, I will connect with my dog and we'll talk the game. If we win, you will not see Ben anywhere.
Absolutely. I will. You'll never see me again.
My dog, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, believe, baby.
Salute to everybody in the building. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow for the game. And Britt, yes, we're gonna win tomorrow. Let's get it. Raiders!